Orange County Registered Digital.
Hello and welcome to the OC Varsity Gridiron Extra Show. We're here from Habra High School, six-time CIF champions. I'm your host, Jonathan Khamis, being joined by Dan Albano and Steve Fryer. Guys, we are previewing Habra versus Mission Viejo. Mission Viejo, the Diablos are 0-2 on the season. Is it all doom and gloom? What is up with the Diablos, Dan?
Well, you know, there's a couple things up with the Diablos. One is that they're playing a really tough schedule. And they're playing a tough schedule with a first-year starting quarterback in Brock Johnson. They have a great offensive line, one of the better offensive lines in the county. They're going to have to dominate for the Diablos to be good. Take some of that pressure off Brock. They got to run the ball. They had a lot of turnovers, and they're not scoring points, which is probably the biggest thing. Is surprising people. Diablos have always racked up the points. They've been very explosive, and they've scored 7 points in their 2 games. Those are some of the things that's up with the Diablos.
Yeah, they've running clocked a lot of teams in the past. Steve, do the Diablos need to be fixed?
Well, I think that if you're Habra or anybody else, you think this is like a hanging piñata just waiting to be hit. You know, you're getting pretty hungry for that. But, you know, you knock that piñata too hard, candy's going to come out, or it might be razor blades, because I don't want to be this team that's got to play Mission Viejo when they're 0-2 and maybe a little bit angry and feeling a little bit pressure that they got to go out there and just really straighten things out and get this thing done and get it back on track. I think that'll happen for Mission Viejo, and I think they're going to win this football game, Jonathan, because I think it's time for them to coalesce and get everything together. Maybe the expectations on themselves was a little bit too high. You got to feel sorry for the kid, Brock Johnson, the junior quarterback son, because what sort of legacy is he following? You know, his grandfather is the coach, and as good as any coach we've ever seen in Orange County football. His dad, Brett, was as good as any quarterback we've seen in Orange County football. Brett, his dad, is offensive coordinator, grandfather's the coach. It's got to be a tough situation for the young man. Once he gets a little success and gets it going, I think Brock Johnson's going to be a fantastic quarterback over there at Mission Viejo. Maybe this is the day that happens. Well, Habra, though, no walk in the park for anybody. My golly, I saw them play El Toro. A couple plays here and there away from winning that football game. Eric Berry, a really good quarterback for them. They've got good players all over the place. Should be a lot of fun, but I think Mission Viejo, I think this is the time when they finally get that win. You know, they're 0-2, but it's actually 3 losses in a row because they lost to Mater Dei last year in the playoffs. They've never started 0-2 since Johnson became football coach in '99, so it's kind of new territory for them.
All right, and for more with the Highlanders, hey, we're here at Habra anyway. Let's check in with those guys, shall we?
There's no way to get better other than playing the best, and we try to play the best. And Mission Viejo, you know, honored us by put us on the schedule, and we're excited to play.
We know they're a very good squad, and they play some pretty good opponents, so we just can't take them because they 0-2.
From a defensive point, it's just we got to stop the run first. It's going to be a big focus, and then our DBs are good enough to make plays on the pass. So then offense, just capitalize when they can and move the ball.
Our thanks to the Habra staff. Dan, does Mission get back on track, or does Habra see that hanging piñata, as Steve Fryer so eloquently said, and strike while they're down?
Well, I think this game is right there for Habra, and I think it sets up well because I think the Highlanders with Coach Mazzota, their quarterback back, and some of their weapons, Carlos Martin. I can see the Habra going down to Mission and scoring some points. They scored some points in the second half against Mission last year. They did have a tough game. You know, they lost 46-21. So I think this could be I think Mission could have a hard time, you know, keeping up with these guys offensively because Mission's not scoring, and that's pretty alarming. So I'm going to pick Habra. And the other thing is, you know, this is Habra. They're playing them the second year. You know, they played them last year, got to know what it's like to play Mission Viejo. That's going to help these kids tremendously, even though Habra is young. But I'm gonna have Habra be my pick.
All right, there we go. Habra, Mission Viejo. We will see. Our thanks to Dan Albano. Our thanks to Steve Fryer. I'm your host, Jonathan Khamis, and for all your latest updates, including that Mission Viejo Habra game, check out OCVarsity.com, where we've got you covered.
Orange County Register. We are here in the service of Orange County.